What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Elliott Delp, back again with Sparky, like you never left.
I didn't. I'm in the same spot in front of the same heater.
Yeah, well, you haven't left because you didn't leave. Today we're going to be talking about top 5 examples of home defense weapons, kind of the battle of the home defense weapon. To kind of summarize the video, I have no idea what it's even going to be titled at this point.
We're give opinions and piss people off.
Yeah, give opinions, piss people off, FUD lore, baby.
That's right.
So we're going to talk a little bit about each of these types of firearms we have on the table. But before we do, we would like to talk about kind of a disclaimer. So one of these guns was sent out, which is this one, but it was not sent out for the purpose of this video. It was sent out for initially a review, and has just been kind of put into the video because we enjoyed it and we think that it would benefit.
It would do what we're going to talk about.
It would do what we're going to talk about, so we included that. So that's kind of our one disclaimer. It's with Diamondback. If you guys don't know, I work with Diamondback a bit. Second thing, arguably more important than that one, Basement Operator Company. So. Merch, if you guys want to support us, this is one of the big ways that you can support us, is by picking up some of our merchandise on our clothing brand, Basement Operator. We tried to make it for you guys, for the everyday person that wants to buy comfortable stuff and that's not too expensive. And all the proceeds feed right back into helping us with ammo, with guns that we don't necessarily get for free. To help review and whatnot. So basementoperator.com, first link in the description, go check it out. So before we kind of talk about these home defense firearms here on the table, Sparky, I think we should kind of talk about what makes a firearm
home defense.
Home defense. And before the comment section even starts going absolutely insane, we understand that any weapon that is placed in your hands at a time of crisis can be a home defense weapon.
Exactly.
So like if you are shoved down your stairs and you're completely disoriented and you can only see your bolt action rifles and you grab your bolt action rifle,
do it.
Do it. All right. We're not saying that if you don't have these, you can't defend yourself.
Exactly.
We're not
these
saying
are just going to do it better. Or these are could be meant for
home defense. So that's kind of the basis start of it. But what are some of the key features that you look for in a home defense firearm or weapon?
So if you came to me wanting a home defense gun, not a gun that you're going to carry every day, just a gun that's specifically for home defense. Number one, ease of use. It's got to be easy to use, because it might not be you might not be the one using it.
Yeah.
It could be your significant other, or whoever the case might be. If you're comfortable with them having a firearm. Or having access to a firearm, everyone's got to be able to use it.
Yeah.
More than just you, more than just me.
And that you bring up a good point. If you have a home defense firearm and you are not the only one living at your place, I would really recommend you have other people get familiar with your firearm.
Very much so.
Especially if they could potentially have to defend their life with it or defend your life with it.
In a high stress situation, whether in the dark or not, but any high stress situation, you're gonna make mistakes.
Yeah.
So you need to be competent with the firearm and be comfortable with it, and where it's second nature of how to use.
Yeah.
So definitely ease of use, and also with ease of use, the size of the firearm. Like in home defense, you're going to be within your home, so you need to have something that you can maneuver down hallway in the rooms. You need to be able to use the gun in the CQB situation. So definitely size does matter in this situation.
Exactly. It's one of the few times size matters.
That's right. Then if you do go like an optic route on any of these,
less magnification
magnification is better, because there's no reason to have a 3.9x40.
Yeah, on a defense.
Even you're shooting, across the room or within the house. So also, this is more of you don't really have to have this, but I would recommend some sort of light, because people say, oh, you turn on the light, it's gonna give away your position, someone's gonna see. But but the legal aspect of having a light, you can identify your target. And when you need to be able to identify that target is a threat to me, depending on your state and your state's laws, castle doctrine, all that kind of good stuff. And
make sure you're not like, say your son's sneaking in the house at night.
Exactly. You
don't want to pop your kid because he was out doing something stupid.
You just see a silhouette in the dark go running by, like, bam, 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 and you turn the lights, and guess what? Little Johnny's now got 4 holes in them.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're going to jail, and it's just stupid. So, like, you need to have a light, so you can identify your target. Now, sure, you're just going to give away your position, all that kind of good stuff, but that stuff doesn't really matter to me. Because, like, you know,
you're not trying to snipe.
This is last resort. If you're using a firearm, it is absolute the last resort. Like, if you just hear, like, yeah, you like, this is last resort. Like, unless you're just one of those guys sitting behind the computer screen that just itching to pull a trigger and kill somebody.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, like, no, like, this is the last resort.
You don't ever want to have to use this.
No, but you need to know how to.
Exactly.
But definitely, this is not something that, like, I'm laying in bed, you know, just, oh man, heard a bump. I'm like, oh sweet, I get to use this.
I get to use the nods.
I get
Kevlar.
I get to go grab a plate carrier and grab my shotgun and go, you know, put 9 pellets through some dude's chest. Like, this is the absolute worst case scenario to have to use a firearm.
And I agree with the light. And another thing I think is important to consider when you're picking out your home defense weapon is, I would stay away from the higher caliber, like, really easy to penetrate firearms. So, like, I don't think a 308 or 6.5 Creedmoor or stuff along those, like, 30-06.
You don't need no 44 Magnum.
Yeah. The big stuff that will just clean through walls. And don't get me wrong, this stuff will still do that. But not to the extent as the larger frame, like, say if you got an AR-10 pistol. Like, it might be semi-automatic, it might be compact, it might be able to have a light, you might be able to use it, but you're still sending bullets through 3-4 walls with that 308.
Exactly, you're putting other people in danger.
Yeah, and like I said, this stuff will still send bullets through walls, but to a lesser extent.
Exactly.
You know?
I agree, 110%.
So that's another thing I think is important to consider when you are shopping or looking for a home defense weapon. So to summarize, the things that would classify a good home defense weapon is, you know, ease of use, compaction, being smaller, being CQB oriented in a sense.
To be used in the home.
Yeah. You probably need a light of some sort, which
to identify your target,
or the ability to add a light, because we're talking guns here, so you might buy it and it not be able to add a light because of there's no way to add a light,
or at least have a flashlight with it.
Yeah,
you can, you know, offhand it, but whatever.
Yeah. And then usually a smaller caliber or a not as powerful caliber to prevent over penetration.
Exactly.
All right. With that kind of being wrapped up, let's start small and work our way big. All right, and we can talk about some of the options that we think you as consumers should look into, what we've looked into and thought about, and we'll kind of give you our opinions on stuff. So first things first, a little compact pistol here, Sparky.
This is my SIG P365 9mm. This is the one with the safeties. It's got a Streamlight TLR7 sub for the SIG.
Before you even dive any further, all these guns have been cleared. The only ammunition that's on the table is
those guys.
So all of the firearms have been cleared, safety checked, and are safe to be manipulated.
So, like I said, this is my EDC. I carry this more days than not. Like you made the comment earlier, you know, your home defense gun might be whatever's closest to you. So if I'm just in the house or I'm going somewhere, coming back, whatever, this is more likely on me.
Or close by. Yeah.
And to where, you know, if I need a firearm, there's a good chance this is going to be it.
Yeah.
So, and with that being said, this has the night sights and the light, which are some things, you know, are nice to have in a CQB situation at night. So having, you know, and this is obviously, as small as it is, it's easy to manipulate in the home, and it's 9mm. So, like, it's a very common round. You know,
and they have a lot so one of the good things about 9mm, there's a lot of variety for home defense rounds with the 9mm, because it is such a popular ammo type. Manufacturers have a plethora of different, low penetration options.
Yes, you can, but you know, your 147 grain, you know, your hollow points. This one normally I got Hornady Customs in it. So you got, like I said, under the, you know, the umbrella of 9mm options.
Yeah, there's tons of options.
This was a good example of just a everyday carry concealed weapon that you might, have readily available in a home defense situation. So this is
and it's SIG, good reliable pistol.
Oh yeah.
What is that thing MSRP for?
At the time when I purchased it, it was like $650, but now this one with the safeties.
Yeah.
But now you can shoot. Rural King a few weeks back, I think it might have been Black Friday, I had him for $399.
Really?
Just the standard P365.
I remember doing a review on that pistol, and it has been one of my favorite pistols to review. It is an awesome little pistol.
I love it.
My concealed carry is a Glock 43, and it's about the same price point. This one, does this have one extra or two extra on the Glock?
That one was the tactical pack, so it came with a bunch of them. But yes, it comes with 2 mags.
No, I meant like the Glock 43 is a single stack.
No, it's 6 rounds.
And this one is...
That's a 10-round mag, but it came with 12 mag as well.
So it does come with a little bit more...
magazine capacity.
A little bit more magazine capacity, which is,
This replaced my 43.
Yeah. So,
but this is an example of everyday carry, 9mm, or even a 40 cal, whatever your EDC is. This is just an example because your EDC might be the gun you use in that situation.
One of the problems I at least have with subcompact pistols is they're harder to use. And obviously, the more you train with it, the better you get.
Exactly.
But like for the vast majority of people that can't spend a ton of time on their firearms, that's where I would recommend a larger pistol because they're easier to shoot. You can be more accurate with them. Like this one right here, this is the M17 P320. If you just like had this in your drawer, or you were like using this as your main and you wanted a pistol, a full-size pistol is another good option because, in my opinion, they're easier to shoot than subcompact pistols because they're just larger and easier to manipulate, and I guess they just weigh more. And the whole
handles recoil better, all that kind of stuff.
Everything kind of compiles to add a little bit more to it. Now, is it as concealable? Is it as versatile? No, probably not. If you wanted to conceal this one, it would be a little bit more difficult. You kind of have to open carry it. But if you were just had it in your home for a home defense weapon, a full-size pistol is a very good option. And the SIG P320 is a good option as well. The M17, it comes with the ability to have a light on it. I mean, I have the TLR1. Awesome light.
1,000 lumens, that's going to blind just about anybody.
Yeah, it's going to be up in your face, The SIG has pretty nice night sights. It's ready for a reflex or a micro red dot. The Delta Point Pro pattern up here. I mean, this one has the safety, the ambidextrous safety. I mean, it's an awesome little pistol, and it's hard to go wrong with a full-size pistol. So if you're in the market for a pistol and you think that's what you want, pick one up. A pistol's a fantastic option as a home defense, and these are just 2 examples of ones we like. I mean, you don't have to get a SIG. There's a lot of other great options out there that I really recommend you guys like diving into learning about whatever you're about to buy and researching. Next thing, a little bit more taboo. Not as many people have them.
No, not as many, but a fantastic
option. Yeah. So
platform, oh man.
So right here we have a Diamondback. This is a 9mm AR. All right, so you can see it accepts Glock magazines. Of course, this one's been cleared. This is a Diamond series. This one MSRP is for like $1,000 or like $1,300. It's a little bit more expensive, but you can see the platform is super compact. Okay. I just sent the bolt forward, but I got a red dot and a magnifier on top of it here. If you wanted to just run the red dot, it'd be a good little option. If you wanted to run a light,
it's got the M-lock.
It's got the M-lock capability, or you could just like, or however you want to hold it.
However you want to hold a light.
Yeah. However you feel comfortable holding a light and manipulating the weapon. But this one shoots 9mm, and it's a little bit bigger platform. Easier to control. Easier to handle recoil, easier to put shots on target more effectively and quickly. Whereas like with that one, you can't really, dig it into your shoulder and control the recoil and handle it as a weapon that you would have to be using for home defense. And I think The 9mm is a great round. A lot of people will fight you on that and tell you 45 or nothing, or 40 cal and nothing. 9mm is an awesome option, and being able to put it in a little AR platform that is easily usable. You know, AR-15s are super easy to manipulate, super easy to use. The hardest thing about an AR-15 is maybe manipulating and charge and handle if you're not familiar with it. You know?
Which all of these need to be. You're going, you know, if you choose any of these options for your, you know, home defense, use them. Be competent with it. Yeah. Like, because you could pick out.
Well, I was thinking like maybe not the person buying it, but a family member.
Oh yeah. I agree. You know, like, they need to be familiar with it.
Yeah, and like an AR-10. You know how heavy a bolt is on an AR-10. Like my wife Stephanie, she has a hard time, you know, handling
pulling that bad boy back.
Yeah, because it's a lot, and that's something you should consider. One of the reasons I don't like AR-10s for home defense is because, you know, it's a little bit harder to manipulate the bolt, whereas something like this is not nearly as difficult. And I mean, you get 32 rounds of 9mm.
It's gonna do the job.
Yeah. Hopefully you don't have to use all 32.
No, and on this specific weapon, I would add a hand stop.
Yeah, just a little bitty hand stop to prevent you from accidentally. Yes, yeah, so Hunter, if you could see, there's not much rail here. A little hand stop to kind of.
I could see someone getting excited in a home defense situation and getting a little excited, and they grab down here and do this maneuver.
Yeah, and accidentally.
And then you're, you know, losing a couple fingers. But that would be the only thing on this specific one. I would add a hand stop just to keep to where, you know, in that high stress situation where adrenaline's running, you know, okay, right here.
Or as far you could just get
longer barrel
or a longer rail.
True.
So you don't have to have the rail necessarily. So like this one, the barrel stops back here. It's got that comp that's further out. You can get a little bit longer rail, or you can get a longer barrel. Palmetto makes a PCC that has a longer barrel. This one's kind of like a 2 or 3 inch like barrel. It's not much at all. No. But it's an awesome little shooter. It's really accurate within like that 25 to 30 yards. I mean, it could just, you know.
So it's a plinking gun too. So
it's a fun plinking gun as well.
You can take this gun out with the family and plink around with it. Everybody get familiar with it.
And no recoil.
Yeah, and then so it's your plinker to where you get everybody familiar with the firearm, and then it's also your home defense.
Yeah.
So it can cover a lot of bases right there.
And small, compactable. You get a Law-Tac folding stock on that sucker. You can put it anywhere.
Oh yeah, easy.
Yeah.
So this is a fantastic option that is becoming more and more
available because people are starting to make them. The PCC has been kind of like 9mm ARs in general are coming into the market more, like Diamondback picking up one.
And the Ruger carbine a couple years ago, and they came out with it.
Yeah, Ruger carbine.
That thing came out. It was pretty slick. We almost got one. Just a beefy 1022 shoots 9mm.
Yeah, and it's awesome.
And it's fantastic.
Didn't they come out with a bunch of like? Didn't it have like a 40 option?
They came out with the 9, and then they've since then come out with other options.
Yeah. So, I mean, little PCC.
Pistol caliber carbine.
Awesome. Awesome option. Go wrong. Especially you had a little red dot.
Yeah.
Zero that thing in.
Yeah, you're seeing a red dot, zero in at 50 yards, and then a light.
Like this AR platform with the red dot is where it's so much easier to aim.
Oh yeah.
Whereas like with like traditional sights, you have to like
line it all
actively know how to line up the sights. You have to be, you know, you have to think about it. You have to.
A little more fundamentals are involved.
A little bit more fundamentals are involved, whereas a red dot, it's more of a point and shoot, which the simpler it can get in a high stress situation.
Keep it simple, stupid.
There you go. Keep it simple, stupid. So, awesome little option. Sparky, this is your baby.
This is one of mine that I put together specifically for home defense. This is a Remington Express Tactical 870 12 gauge. Run Magpul furniture, Magpul sling mounts,
the whole ordeal,
whole shebang.
Yeah.
Got your shell holder on the side, so you got holds 6 here, 5 in it, or 4 in it. So you got options. You got a lot. That's 7. I can't count. Math do be hard.
Math do be hard.
Yeah. But so the shotgun.
It's like a staple for home defense.
Oh, and I'm a shotgun guy. But like home defense.
Sparky, I can smell your pants.
Are they melting?
Yeah, I think they are.
Something. No, it's the tables. That's the table hot right here. We're melting the table, man.
I could just sit here and
I'm smelling plastic too. I'm starting to wonder. We're casually melting the table. Man, my pants are awful hot.
Yeah.
Just don't go up any farther; it'll get hotter. But
all right, anyway, that was a blooper. All right, go on.
Oh, let's keeping that one. But anyway, shotguns. They're, as we previously discussed, shotguns are a fantastic platform or weapon type to use in home defense. One,
low penetration.
Low penetration, which dumps a ton of energy onto your target, depending on what you're shooting.
Yeah.
With shotguns, you also have the option to shoot less than lethal, which
like beanbags.
Beanbags, you know, rubber rounds, like using them for, like if you lived out in the sticks and you had a lot of, you know, bears on your property, stuff like that, and you had some rubber rounds or beanbags, stuff like that, that'd be kind of slick. You know, you can, you know, scare them off with that. And this gun can be have multiple purposes.
Yeah.
Besides home defense, but then you got that intimidation factor of just the pump.
That's
you know,
flood lore, Sparky.
That's right. You know, but I'm not looking to kill somebody. Like I'm trying to de-escalate situation. I'm like, you know, I mean business. Get out of here.
Yeah.
So like, you can't go wrong.
Right.
But he's got the light. This is just one I've stuck on there. It's a cheap one I had. It's just a little string light with the push button. You can get to ones with pressure pads, which I'd probably recommend over that. But can't go on a 12 gauge.
No.
It's going to do the job.
And you can find shotgun shells everywhere.
12 gauge is probably the most popular caliber gauge, whatever,
It's definitely a point and shoot.
Definitely. It's going to hold a group pretty good with buckshot. It's full choke, obviously. Yeah. But it's going to hold a tight group, and it's going to lay the law on somebody.
Yeah, it'll definitely do the job.
So shotgun, fantastic. But the shotgun, it's a great platform for home defense. It's easy to use, I would say.
You pump.
It's just not that hard. You know, like if you know the gun's unloaded, you just got to rack it, and you know you got one in it. It's also easy to empty. So when the situation is, you know, over, you can easily know that it's empty. Yeah. By pulling it back. But I would say fantastic firearm to use home defense.
Multi-purpose too, if you want to hunt with it or whatnot.
Exactly. Yeah. What would you think about it? Like, what are your pros and cons to the shotgun? Or do's and don'ts?
I think the shotgun in general is a very good home defense weapon. One of the things that could limit it if you got a more general shotgun would be a longer barrel, wasn't as easy to manipulate as maybe you know, this thing, which is kind of like a shorter barrel shotgun. I think this is 18 and a half. 18 and a half. Yeah. Whereas like, you know, 22 or
standard 28s, you know, 26s, all that kind of good stuff.
But as you creep up, it'll be harder to, you know, just
to get around the house,
do your thing. But you know, it'll still work. And then another thing about a shotgun is
recoil.
Not really. Well, yes, recoil would be a little bit more of an issue, but ammo capacity on not tailored home defense shotgun. So like a normal 870
with the plug, you
only got 3. Yeah. You know, which could be a limiting factor for some people. But I mean, it like hopefully you wouldn't have to use it. No. But having the ability, if you were buying a dedicated home defense shotgun, when you start getting into these, they start to get pricier. What do you think? You got $1,000 in this one total?
But yeah, around the $800 to $900 range is probably what I got in it now.
Whereas like, and all the ARs are pricier too, but where your pistols aren't as expensive, you know. And if you're just buying a normal, like Mossberg or a normal 870, they're not that expensive, but you don't get as many, I guess, shells in the chamber. You get a longer barrel, not as easy to manipulate.
Yeah, this one you got the extended mag tube, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I think shotguns are great. I think like shotguns tailored to home defense are awesome, and I think they're a really, really good option to consider when you're thinking about what should I buy. And like they're easy to work on, they're easy to manipulate, they're east to clean.
It's easy gun to learn on.
Yeah, it's easy gun to learn on. So I think a shotgun is a really, really good option. So last but not least, we have a little AR-15 here. This one is a pistol. This one, as you can see, is suppressed. It's got a red dot with a magnifier on it. This one is a 300 blackout. All right.
Which would be the preferred caliber.
Yeah, I would say the 300 blackout is my preferred caliber for an AR-15 that is tailored to home defense. Not this thing. This thing's not really an AR-15. It's a DB9 or an AR-9. whatever. If you're buying an AR-15 and you want to be able to have multi-purpose hunting, home defense, 300 Blackout's an awesome option, especially if you're running subs on it. Talk about being quiet. Of course, you know, Warrior Poet Society, he says never run a suppressor on a home defense weapon. Give that loud bang, you know.
Exactly. But Lord forbid if we make a little noise, though.
Yeah. Well, to each his own. If you want to run a suppressor, by all means, run a suppressor. If you want to, like, not deafen yourself, it's up to you on how you want to handle your home defense situation.
Yeah. We're just giving you a couple options.
Yeah, we're just giving you a couple options and our thoughts on this. It could be FUD lore, you never know. So the 300 Blackout subsonic, you are not getting a lot of pass through because you're shooting that low velocity bullet.
Dumping a lot of energy at one time.
Dumping a lot of energy at one time, and that's kind of one of the reasons
at close range.
At close range that I don't recommend like the higher caliber rounds. And not really higher caliber because the 30, it's still a 30 caliber round, but like the high power,
high velocity, all that kind of good stuff. I would recommend 300 Blackout over a 5.56. If I'm getting an AR specifically for home defense. Yeah. This, without the cannon, that's the argument for another day, and then light.
Yeah, and
you don't need the magnifier, but you got it.
No, and the reason this one just had a magnifier because it was a cool little combo from Primary Arms. But like I said, I'm a big fan of red dots when you're talking about the whole home defense situation. And a lot of people have ARs. Oh, yeah. A lot of people are comfortable with ARs. AR is America's rifle.
Oh, yeah, by all means. Modern sporting rifle.
The modern sporting rifle. There's a ton of them out there. And the ability to just put a 300 Blackout upper on a gun you already have, or buying a pistol that you're really familiar with anyway. An AR is a very easy to learn rifle because there's not that much to it. It's easy to maintenance. It's easy to understand. It's easy to repair. It's literally adult Legos. It's so easy to work on with just like five
tailor
tools,
it to your need.
And you can tailor it to your need. Put on stuff that you like. Put on stuff that works for you. If you want to swap the trigger, make it a nicer trigger, more comfortable grip, whatever it may be. You can also get these things in really small packages. You know, good things come in small packages. So like this one right here is not very big. Take the can off of it. We'll go ahead and pull the can so you guys can get a good idea of how small it really is. Oh gosh, it takes forever and a day. Just keep screwing. All right.
Good.
I don't know what that.
You might want to clean that thing every once in a while.
I don't know what that dust was, but like it is a smaller platform. We'll hold up the DB9 right here. Same size, pretty much. Not much difference.
Just yeah. Very similar size.
Very similar size, and then you get to move up to a little bit more versatility in terms of what you can use this thing for. If you wanted to hunt with it, you could hunt with it. If you wanted to plink with it, you could plink with it. You know, there's more stuff you can do with a 300 Blackout AR-15 for home defense.
And I would not be afraid. So you know, 300 Blackout AR pistol. That's a fantastic platform setup for home defense. Like I said, easy to use, easy to learn on. You also got, you know, high capacity, standard capacity magazine. You know, so you can
comment section.
You can run some rounds through one real quick if need be.
30 round mag.
20 round mag, 10 round mag. You can do whatever you want depending on your state. You can do it however you want it to. And also, I don't know. Like this one has a sling on it. You could easily put a sling on any like these two to where, you know, if you do need to be hands free in that situation, you can.
Yeah, and that I didn't even think of that. That is one of the benefits because like if you grab this, has the sling on it. If you grab one of those, you might have to set it down.
Set it down or
maybe you don't
holster. Unless you store it in the holster, you know, that would be the only thing is like when the situation starts heading the other direction, where can I put this? But I still need to, you know, have it. Or say, you know, it's just absolute worst case scenario. You've had to use one of these in that situation, and you got to move, or Lord forbid, you have to like pick up your kid, or you know, do whatever you got to do. You might need to go hands free. So having the option to have a sling, I think, added bonus. But also, it kind of gets in the way to a degree. You know, it's just one more thing there. But there's some pros and cons of having a sling.
Yeah, but like if you're just grabbing this out of your nightstand and you don't have like a holster, or your holster's there, but you don't have any pants on. I don't know. You wake up in the middle of the night.
you know, them whitey tighties, they might be hands, but man,
they ain't gonna hold it.
For the looms be a little snugger, they might hold it, but yeah, you know.
Yeah, so I think the ability to go hands-free is a nice option in terms of the larger firearms in terms of home defense.
If need arises, but that's not something I would say you have to have in home defense gun, but it's just I just happened to look down.
Nifty.
It was just like oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
But just a little tangent.
Yeah, I agree. So all these are great options, whether you're choosing a subcompact, full-size, PCC, shotgun, or an AR pistol. I think all of these are awesome options. There's no like super clear winner. To me, it's all about kind of what you're comfortable using, what you are comfortable storing, where it can be stored, how quickly you can get access to it, how well you feel you can train the other people in your household to effectively use the firearm, how much you trust those people. Like there's a lot that goes into it and a lot that you should consider. There's no one size fits all for any of these.
No, because granted, you know, if Granny came to the gun counter and said, hey, I need a gun, you know, to keep around the house for home defense, I don't think I'm gonna hand her this 12 gauge.
No, it rock her world.
I mean, it's gonna kill on both ends.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all like not scenario specific, but it's
shoot. Granny could rock the pistol.
She could do some damage.
Yeah, she could mess.
Imagine a 1022 Charger with a brace on it.
Boy, that's another thing that we don't even have this on the list, but a 22. You said, you know, Frank rocks it.
Yeah, he's got the LCP 22. That's enough rounds to get back to the truck or enough rounds to get to the other gun cabinet.
So a 22 should not be thrown out of the conversation.
You just have to be really good at where you put them.
Yeah, but I mean, if I get hit with a 22, I'm still going to be hurting.
It
might not kill me, but you know, I know people that can still carry 22s.
Oh yeah, I know.
I mean, because it's still gonna hurt somebody pretty bad to put them out of doing whatever they're going to do.
10 rounds for me to use is gonna suck.
Yeah. So a 22 is not out of the option either. We just don't have it here on the table.
Another tangent.
And these are not the end all be all. There's other things out there that you could consider, that you could look into. These are just some of the suggestions that we like, that we have
experience.
We've shot. We've used these firearms a lot, and can recommend to you. So we really appreciate you guys watching. Sparky, do you have any last comments before we
just this topic? There's a lot of different ways to do it. There are definitely some wrong ways to do it. There's a lot of good ways to do it, and these are 5 of them that we feel would be good. But check your state laws, honestly. Like,
and that's another one.
That's not like every state is different when it comes to, you know, castle doctrine and what deems when can I use a firearm? Like, you know, your hands are tied as a gun owner when using a firearm to defend yourself, because you have to check bunch of these boxes before you can even use the thing.
Yeah.
So it's like so each state's going to be different.
Use the stuff in between your ears.
And if there's nothing up there, go find it.
Yeah.
Go get like if you have to have a concealed weapons permit in your state. Even if you're like, oh, I'm just going to open carry. I'm going to stick this hip out just like this when I go to Roll King and show everybody I got a gun. Don't be that guy. But go get your concealed weapons permit, because you're going to learn so much information as to how you can legally defend yourself in your state.
Yep, I agree completely. Educate yourself.
That's right, and then know how to use it.
Yep. So we really appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button down below. That helps us out a lot. Basement Operator Company, first link in the description. Also, go check us out on Instagram. My link will be down below there. You can find deals on all kinds of stuff, from ammo to guns. I post it up in my story all the time there. We also post some pretty sweet photos that my cameraman Hunter takes of me. So go check us out. We really appreciate it. And as always, take someone outdoors. Peace.